Stop what you're doing right now because I'm about to tell you why Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre at Saturday night's main event is either going to be the best thing WWE does all year or the most infuriating waste of two incredible performers we've seen in a long time. And I need you to hear me out before you dismiss this as clickbait. Cody Rhodes, the man who finished his story, who overcame years of adversity to finally capture the championship that eluded him, who's supposed to be having this historic reign as the face of WWE, is being thrown into yet another defense that feels more like an obligation than a properly built main event feud. And Drew McIntyre, one of the most talented, most underutilized, most jerked around performers on the entire roster, a guy who should have had multiple world title runs by now but keeps getting screwed over by terrible booking decisions, is once again being positioned as the challenger in a match where everyone already knows he's not winning. Are you kidding me right now? This match has all the ingredients to be absolutely incredible from a pure wrestling standpoint, two of the best workers in the company going head-to-head for the top prize on a special event, but WWE has done such a poor job building to it and creating genuine drama that I'm already frustrated before the bell even rings. Comment right now if you're tired of WWE taking dream matches and making them feel like just another match on just another show, because we need to talk about how this company continues to fumble opportunities that should be slam dunks. Let me start with Cody Rhodes and the championship reign that was supposed to change everything. When Cody finally won the undisputed WWE Championship, it was supposed to be this watershed moment for the company. The story had been building for years, from Cody leaving WWE, reinventing himself on the independent scene, becoming one of the founding fathers of AEW, coming back to WWE with unfinished business, and then going through all the trials and tribulations to finally capture the title that his father never held. It was beautiful storytelling, it was emotional, it connected with audiences on every level, and when he won, it felt like the beginning of something special. But here's the problem. What has Cody's reign actually been since he won the title? It's been a series of defenses against challengers who either don't feel like legitimate threats or who are thrown at him without proper build or storyline depth. It's been Cody cutting the same promo about being a fighting champion week after week while WWE fails to give him opponents and feuds that actually elevate the championship and his reign. Drew McIntyre is incredibly talented, but this match feels like it was announced just to have a main event for Saturday night's main event rather than because there's a compelling reason for these two to be fighting right now. And that brings us to Drew McIntyre, a performer who has been disrespected and mishandled so many times over the past few years that it's genuinely shocking he hasn't demanded his release or completely checked out mentally. Drew is a former WWE champion, a guy who should be positioned as one of the absolute top stars in the company, someone who has everything you could possibly want in a main event performer. He's got the look, he's got the size, he's got the intensity, he's got incredible in-ring ability, he can cut promos, he connects with audiences, and he's proven he can carry the company when given the opportunity. But what has WWE done with him? They've had him lose big matches at crucial moments, they've had him turn heel and face and heel again without clear reasoning, they've put him in storylines that go nowhere, and they've repeatedly positioned him as someone who's good but never quite good enough to actually win when it matters most. So now when Drew gets another shot at the championship against Cody Rhodes, are we supposed to believe this time is different? Are we supposed to think Drew is actually going to win when WWE has conditioned us over years to expect him to come up short in these big moments? The Saturday night's main event platform adds another layer to this entire situation. Saturday night's main event is supposed to be special, it's supposed to feel like a big deal, it's WWE bringing back a classic brand that has history and nostalgia attached to it. When you announce a match for Saturday night's main event, especially a world championship match, it should feel important and must-see. But has WWE actually built this Cody vs. Drew match in a way that makes you feel like you have to watch? Have they given us reasons to believe the title might actually change hands? Have they created dramatic tension where you genuinely don't know who's going to win? Or have they just announced the match, assumed these two names are big enough to carry interest on their own, and moved on without doing the actual work of storytelling that makes people emotionally invested in the outcome? I'd argue it's the latter, and that's a massive problem when you're trying to make people care about your championship and your special events. Let's talk about what a proper build to this match should have looked like. Drew McIntyre should have been on a tear, destroying everyone in his path, looking like an unstoppable force who's finally putting it all together and is more dangerous than he's ever been. There should have been personal animosity between him and Cody, some reason beyond just wanting the championship that makes this feel like it has to happen and has to happen now. Maybe Drew costs Cody a match or attacks him during a celebration, establishing himself as a serious threat who Cody can't overlook. Maybe Drew cuts promos about how Cody's story is nice and heartwarming but Drew's story is about being held back despite being better, creating a clash of narratives that gives the match thematic weight. Maybe there's history between them that gets brought up and explored, giving longtime fans something to sink their teeth into. Any of these approaches would have made this match feel more important than just another title defense. But instead, what's the story? It's Cody as champion, Drew wants to be champion, they're going to fight. That's not enough for a match of this magnitude on a show that's supposed to be special. The predictability of the outcome is another huge issue that we need to address head-on. When this match was announced, did anyone genuinely think Drew McIntyre is winning the undisputed WWE Championship at Saturday night's main event? Be honest with yourself. The answer is no, because WWE has given us no reason to believe they're taking the title off Cody right now, and they've given us years of evidence that Drew doesn't win the matches he needs to win. So we're going into this championship match already knowing Cody is retaining, which means the entire exercise becomes about how he retains rather than who wins. Now, a great match can still be great even if the outcome is predictable, but it requires phenomenal execution and storytelling within the match itself to overcome that predictability. Cody and Drew are both talented enough to deliver that kind of match, but they're being asked to create drama and tension that the booking hasn't provided, and that's not fair to them or to the audience. Here's what really gets under my skin about this whole situation. WWE has two incredible performers, a world championship, and a special event platform, which are all the ingredients you need for something memorable. But they're putting in minimum effort on the creative side, apparently expecting the talent and the stakes to carry everything on their own without proper storytelling support. That's lazy, and it's disrespectful to both Cody and Drew, who deserve better than being thrown into a match without a proper build just because WWE needed to fill the main event slot. These are professionals who will go out there and work their asses off to make this match as good as it can possibly be, but imagine how much better it could be if WWE had actually built to it properly, if there was real heat between the characters, if fans genuinely believed the title might change hands, if there were actual stakes beyond just the championship itself. Let's also examine what this match means for both men going forward. For Cody, another successful title defense gets added to his resume, but does it actually strengthen his reign, or is it just another notch on the belt? If the match isn't built properly, if there's no real drama or stakes, then Cody beating Drew doesn't make him look stronger because everyone expected it anyway. The value of being a fighting champion who defends against all comers diminishes when none of those comers feel like they might actually win. Cody needs challengers who feel like legitimate threats, feuds that test him in meaningful ways, defenses that leave fans thinking he barely survived. This match with Drew could provide that if booked correctly, but based on the build we've seen so far, it's going to be another defense that happens and then everyone moves on without it leaving a lasting impact. For Drew, this is even more frustrating because another loss in a big championship match further cements the narrative that he can't win the big one. How many times can a performer lose world title matches before fans stop taking them seriously as a main event threat? Drew is dangerously close to that line if he's not already crossed it. Every time WWE puts him in these positions and has him lose, they chip away at his credibility and his aura. At some point, Drew needs to actually win something important, needs to have a moment where he proves all the doubters wrong and captures the gold, or else his character becomes defined by coming up short. This match at Saturday night's main event feels like another example of WWE using Drew to give their champion a defense without considering what it does to Drew's character and positioning long-term. The timing of this match is questionable too. We're not at WrestleMania season where championship matches carry extra weight. We're not at SummerSlam or the Royal Rumble or any of WWE's traditional Big Four events. We're at Saturday night's main event, which is special but not on the same level as those shows. So having the championship defended here against Drew McIntyre feels random rather than strategic. What's the plan after this match? Assuming Cody retains, who's his next challenger? Is there a roadmap for his reign, or is WWE just booking defense after defense without any larger narrative structure? And for Drew, what happens after he loses? Does he get another opportunity? Does he move on to something else? Is there any follow-up to this match, or does it just happen and then both guys move to completely different programs? These are questions that should have clear answers, but based on WWE's track record with aimless booking, I'm not confident they've thought beyond this one match. You know what's really frustrating? The potential that's being wasted here. Cody Rhodes vs. Drew McIntyre for the Undisputed WWE Championship should be a marquee match that people talk about for months. It should be built with the kind of care and attention that makes it feel unmissable. It should have weeks of promos and confrontations and escalating tension that makes you desperate to see these two finally get their hands on each other. Instead, it feels like WWE announced it, shrugged, and figured the names would sell the match without them having to do any of the hard work of storytelling. That's not good enough. Fans deserve better. The performers deserve better. The championship deserves better. And Saturday night's main event as a brand deserves better than being treated like just another show that exists to fill the calendar rather than a special event that should feel important. The championship itself needs to be discussed here too. The Undisputed WWE Championship is supposed to be the most prestigious prize in all of professional wrestling. It should feel like winning it is the ultimate achievement, like defending it successfully is a monumental task, like every title match is a major event that could change the landscape of the company. But when title defenses happen without proper builds, when challengers don't feel like credible threats, when there's no storytelling framework that makes the matches feel important beyond just the belt being on the line, the championship loses value. Cody's reign should be elevating the title back to legendary status after years of it being passed around and treated inconsistently. But that can only happen if his defenses feel special, if his opponents are built up properly, if the matches are positioned as must-see events. This match with Drew has the potential to be all of those things, but WWE has to actually do the work to make it happen. I want to talk about what could still save this match and make it something special. There's still time before Saturday night's main event for WWE to add layers to this story. They could have Drew turn up the intensity, maybe attack Cody in a way that makes it personal. They could reveal some history between these two that gives the match added meaning. They could have Drew cut a promo that's so good, so intense, so believable that it makes people think maybe he actually has a chance to win. They could create a stipulation or condition that adds drama to the match beyond just the title changing hands. Any of these things would help, and maybe WWE has something planned that will make everything click into place. But based on what we've seen from their recent booking patterns, I'm not holding my breath. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this match gets the build it deserves and becomes something memorable. But hope isn't a strategy, and WWE has let us down too many times for blind optimism to be justified. The broader issue this match represents is WWE's tendency to coast on talent rather than maximizing it through good booking. They have the most talented roster in wrestling history, performers who can deliver incredible matches on any given night, but talent alone isn't enough. You need storytelling, you need proper builds, you need reasons for fans to care beyond just appreciating good wrestling. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre is a perfect example of this problem. Both guys are incredibly talented, they'll have a good match because they're professionals who know what they're doing, but without proper storytelling support, without a real build, without genuine drama and stakes, the match will just be good when it could have been great. It'll be another match that happens and gets forgotten rather than a defining moment in both men's careers and in the history of the championship. So here's what I need from you. Watch this match when it happens on Saturday night's main event. Support both Cody and Drew because they're going to work hard to make this as good as possible despite the lack of proper build. But also hold WWE accountable for not doing right by these performers and this match. Comment on social media, make your voice heard, let WWE know that fans expect better than minimum effort booking for championship matches on special events. Hit that like button if you agree that this match should have been built better, subscribe for more honest wrestling analysis, and let's discuss in the comments what WWE should do going forward to make Cody's reign and Drew's career feel as important as they should be. Both of these men deserve world title programs that feel special, and it's time WWE started delivering on that instead of just coasting on their talent and hoping that's enough.